Hey y'all, it's summertime. So what does that mean? That means nobody wants to be in the kitchen cooking very much this time of year. So I wanted to show you a real bargain, a way you can save your budget so that you can have more money to spend on vacation and doing fun things this summer instead of spending all your money on food. So this is an actual rotisserie chicken from Sam's, and I want you to look at the price. $4.98. This chicken is so heavy. It will feed me and Bob several meals. And so what I'm going to show you is what I do is I go ahead and try to get it all off the bone when we first get it home. Separate the white meat, the dark meat, save the skin and gristle and stuff for the dogs. The bones will either go into a broth or they'll go out in the woods for some animal to eat. Bob likes to take it out there and let the possums or whoever have it. So anyhow, that's what I'll be doing with this, and I'm going to show you how I do it. I'm just going to rip it apart with my hands and shred that chicken up, put it in the separate dishes, and then we'll figure out what we're going to have for dinner. Hold on. Okay, so the breast and the wings are the white meat. These legs and thighs are the dark meat. So I do not save the skin for us. I know a lot of people love to eat the skin, but I'd rather give that to our dogs. Or, and you see these legs are tied together here with a little string, so I'm just going to cut that string so I can get them apart. And the nice thing of this is it just pulls apart so easy. But this is the skin that I'll put over here for the dogs, and then just start pulling this meat off with my fingers like this. Super easy because this is very tender chicken. No really need to use a knife for this. And I like to use this dark meat when I'm making like fajitas or something like that. Now this is bone. I'm just going to lay it right back here out of the way. There's a lot of juice down the bottom of this pan too, and we'll feed that to the dogs as well. Again, there's some more skin for the dogs. Yep. They will love us come dinner time tonight. They do get quite spoiled. You can see you get a lot of chicken off of one rotisserie chicken, just one. And it's like one of the least expensive pieces of meat. There's some gristle. I'm going to give that to the dogs as well. Try to get those bones as clean as I can. So yeah, I was laying in bed last night and thought, I need to tell people all the different things that I know of that I make with rotisserie chicken, especially like my granddaughters who are my granddaughter's gotten old enough that she's probably going to be having her own apartment one day, and will be doing a lot more of her own cooking. And then my other granddaughter, who's already grown and got 2 little girls herself, so my great-granddaughters. So she already is a really good cook. But I don't know if she actually does this up front. Like, you know, you could spend one day just getting your chicken all prepped like this, and then when you come home from work, you just pull it out of the fridge and use whatever you need at that time to make whatever recipe you want to make, instead of having to shred it then. There's some fat. I'm gonna put that over for the chickens. The dogs. Yeah, We don't feed chicken to chickens. But all right, that's just about got most of the dark meat here. So yeah, just getting it all off like this. So I'm gonna go wash my hands and then come do the white meat in just a minute. Okay, now I'm back and I'm going to start with the white meat. So let me get this skin off of here. It comes off pretty easy. You can see how much white meat. I think there's actually more white meat than there is dark meat on a chicken. But anyhow, I just dig in here and pull out big chunks of it. Pull off one side and then the other. So this will be enough to make some chicken salad, a chicken pot pie. Don't have to make a huge one for just me and Bob. Now we'll show you this. You can pull this thing apart like this. And there's some more dark meat. I'll tend to that in a little bit. But just pull these bones all apart in here. Get the rest of the skin out of the way. And there's where that cord was. It was wrapped around the chicken wings. Now these little parts of the chicken wings right here, that'll go to the, with the bones. Because just, I'm not gonna let my dogs chew any kind of chicken bones. Last thing we need is to get bones caught in the dog's throat and have that vet bill. So here's some more of that big chunks of white chicken. You can see how it's filling up this bowl over here. So I like to make the fajitas using the rotisserie chicken. And here's the little bone from the wings. You have to get those out carefully. And there's a little bit of meat on wings, as you all know, those of you who go to pubs and order chicken wings, buffalo wings. So, and this one's tough. Yeah. So just getting that all out of there. When it's tough, I just put on over here for the dogs. It won't be tough to them. They love it. So anyhow, you can see I'm getting all this white meat off of here, and I can just stop the video and let y'all see the finished once we decide what we're having for dinner too. Okay, so I've decided that tonight I'm gonna make a kind of a quick and easy chicken pot pie. And I've opened a can of veg oil and drained it. So I've got that ready to go in. I am using fresh celery and Vidalia onion which I'm going to saute over here in a little bit of olive oil. Get that cooking. Then I'll add in the other ingredients and add the chicken at the end and throw some frozen buttermilk biscuits in the oven. Let those be cooking so when the pot pie is the filling part of the pot pie is done, then I'll just put it in a bowl and we'll stick a buttermilk biscuit on top of it, and that'll be our quick and easy chicken pot pie. So if you want to watch me do some of this, I'm going to get it going and you can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to get the fire started. I did have a couple of small potatoes that I'd already cooked, so I'm going to chop those up and put in here too. Just to add a little bit more starch in the meal, which I don't really need it, but I know Bob will appreciate it. As usual, I'm trying to diet, watch my starches, eat more vegetables and proteins, so hopefully I can stick with it this time. I also started an exercise routine, so today the tops of my legs are very sore because I worked on some machines yesterday at the gym, which seemed easy at the time, but boy, I'm paying for it today. Funny how if you don't use those muscles, they start deteriorating on you. And then when you try to use them again, they scream. They say, no, we don't want to do this. Any of y'all have that issue? Yeah. If you're close to my age, you do, most likely. Especially if your hobbies are things like sitting in front of a computer, which that's not really my hobby, that's our job with the real estate business. But then when I'm doing my hobby, I'm sitting in front of a sewing machine. So, yeah, pretty much always sitting. And then, of course, at night we sit and watch TV. So, don't use all of our muscles like we should. Alright, so I'm just going to let these cook here until the onion gets translucent. Should maybe crisp up those potatoes a little bit. And then I'll add in some thickening agent. And in the meantime, I'm going to be chopping up some of this chicken. And I wanted you to see, that's how much chicken. Look at all that white meat, and this is the dark meat over here. So I'm going to mix a little bit of each in this chicken pot pie because they're both good. And then I'll still have plenty left over for some other recipes this week, which I will film for you and let you see what I'm doing. So let me get that chicken chopped up and I'll get back with you. Okay, now I'm going to add a tiny smidgen of nutmeg. So about a fourth of a teaspoon, and then about a half a teaspoon of some thyme, and about a whole teaspoon of parsley flakes. And then I'm going to add some, well, I'll add it in a minute. Let me get this flour in here right now. I'm going to put some flour. This is about a fourth of a cup of flour. I'm just going to let that work in here. Just trying to get it all situated, cooked a little bit. It's really dry now, doesn't it? It's okay. I'm going to dump the vegetables in here. add the chicken. You can see how much chicken I'm putting in here. It's quite a bit, all chopped up. Now, I'm going to pour in about a half a container of chicken broth. That should thicken up pretty good with the with the flour that's in there. Make a nice broth for the pie. And we'll add some salt and pepper. Couple of teaspoons of Dijon mustard too. There, and a little bit of lemon juice. About a tablespoon. All right. Mixed in really good. This is when I'm going to go around. I'm going to get something a little bit harder than that so I can scrape the bottom of that pan good. Get all the bits that have stuck on the bottom. Look like a good chicken pot pie already. Just gonna let it get bubbly and thick, and then we'll serve it up with some biscuits. I'll be back as soon as it gets ready. Okay, y'all. Like every good cook, you should taste these your stuff before you declare it finished. And I tasted it, and it just tasted a little bit too strong with the Dijon mustard. So I would say either don't put as much or do like I did, and I just added about half a cup of whipping cream in here and one little pack of Splenda, and that has made it kind of have a little bit of a sweet taste to it, and it's really delicious now. So can't wait to get those biscuits cooked and get it topped off. Y'all have a great evening. Okay, so I actually had my homemade whole wheat bread and decided I'd rather do that than wait for biscuits to cook. So here is our chicken pot pie with homemade bread. Y'all have a blessed evening.